This is my fourth fucking time recording this video today. Been trying all day to post shit and TikTok just hates me and keeps... I hit post and then it says couldn't post, saved into drafts, and then it doesn't load my drafts, it doesn't let me access them. I've literally been trying all day to post this fucking video, so if this doesn't work then I quit TikTok forever. TikTok has been trying to silence me on this very important topic. I was up last night thinking about mythological creatures, as one does, normal people activity, and I decided that both dragons and Pegasus are basically birds and reptiles. So they are both birds, therefore both reptiles, and let me explain further. Since TikTok does not let me post it, I've had a lot of time to flesh out this idea. First off, dragons. While I like this aesthetically, biologically, it does not make a lot of sense. Because tetrapods, so like birds, reptiles, mammals, etc., they have a max of 4 limbs. You can have less, like snakes, but you can't have more than 4 limbs. You can have basically 4 legs, arms, whatever, or 2 legs and 2 wings, like birds and bats do. So this right here is too many legs. So this body plan of the wyvern, which I recently learned is how you pronounce it, this makes more sense with the 2 hind legs and then the 2 wings, which can also function as arms, similar to bats occasionally. So as to where I would place them, this is the vertebrate phylogeny, and this red circle contains the reptiles and birds. Narrowing this down, I would place both the dragons and the Pegasus in this smaller circle around where the crocodilians and the birds are. This is the Archaeopteryx, which I would guess would be a good starting point for a common ancestor between dragons and the birds and crocodilians. A bad description of the Archaeopteryx, but basically in between a bird, reptile, dinosaur, whatever. That's not a good explanation, but vaguely. So imagine a common ancestor similar to this artistic rendition of a Archaeopteryx. As for the phylogeny, I would place that common ancestor as you see the branch with the crocodilians and the birds, and then there's the little stick that comes out of it. I would put that branching off from that stick, creating its own new node, where at the end would be the dragons. So, branching off, like before the crocodilians and birds branched off into their separate things, the dragons would have branched right off of that. So this common ancestor would have shared both like crocodilian and avian traits, but instead of going full bird with the beak and the feathers and all of that, or going full crocodilian with the scales and the short stubby legs and the teeth, it kind of went both. So structurally, it would be more similar to a bird with the light bones and the wings, but instead of having feathers, it would have more bat-like wings with membranes stretched basically between finger bones. And then like the hind limbs and the wings and all of that, more structurally similar to a bird, but like physiologically, I guess, it would be more similar to crocodilians and other reptiles, so with like the scales and the teeth instead of a beak. However, they would likely have to be warm-blooded like birds, because flight and all that takes a lot of energy, so they would have to be able to produce their own body heat and everything, so they would probably be warm-blooded. And regarding the fire breathing, so you know how some vultures have like stupidly acidic stomach acid? Then sometimes they, in self-defense, they vomit it up and it's so acidic that it causes corrosion burns. If you didn't know that, now you do, you're welcome. But for dragons, instead of having super acidic vomit, they have super volatile. So in self-defense, when they vomit that up, immediately on contact with oxygen, it just combusts. So that is where the fire-breathing part comes from, the super volatile combustible stomach acid. So yeah, that is my hypothesis for dragons. This time I'll split it up into 2 parts, so hopefully TikTok doesn't nerf me. If this post, come back for part 2 about Pegasus.